Hey everybody, I'm back. I am Samantha. I'm a therapist and I'm creating a video every day for a year to get over my fear of public speaking and social anxiety. And this is video number 175 of 365. Thank you so much for being here and watching. And I'm also here, I've decided to help you end unnecessary suffering. I've been trying to pinpoint what am I trying to help people with exactly? And it's to end unnecessary suffering and detox an addiction that we have to negative feelings and negative thoughts and negative belief systems. So I'm still narrowing down a little bit, but I figured that out today. I was like, unnecessary suffering, because we think thoughts that are causing us to suffer that are just unnecessary. So today we're going to talk about that and keep diving into this stuff. So I want you to think about what is one thing that is really getting a hold of your entire focus daily that is causing you to suffer unnecessarily. And this may be, you may say, well, there's like 2,500 different things. So I want you to think about one that's like really, really harming you to think about. And every thought that you have comes from a meaning that you've given to certain events in your life. So the self that you are right now has been created from the self that you were when you were young. And unless you were told that these beliefs that you have are harming you or not serving you in general, then there was no need to really change them if you think about it. You know, we get programmed a certain way, we learn things a certain way, and then we believe that that's the way that life is, or this is who I am, or this is what I do, or this is what I don't do, or I don't know how to do this. I'm not capable of doing this. Everyone else around me can do that, but I can't do this. There's a 1%, so I can't possibly be part of that 1%. And so I want you to just examine these thoughts. I feel like 2026 is going to be a big year for all of us. And I want us to get the year started off right. And so we start right now. Today's New Year's Day. Every day's New Year's Day. Every day's Christmas Day. We're going to have fun. And so I want you to think that way. Every moment is so precious. And so you only have one now moment. I learned a lot of different things from a lot of different places, but I learned from Eckhart Tolle. If you've ever heard of him, you know him. If you've never heard of him, go check him out. He wrote The Power of Now, and I really love that book. That really changed my life when I read that. I reread it recently. But the one thing that stuck out to me that he would talk about was the power of just the eternal now that we have. We only have one moment that we're experiencing over and over again. And so that really got me. I was like, oh, that's so cool. You know, like we only have one moment that we've got to worry about. And that one moment turns into another moment and then turns into another moment. But it's still all happening right now. So all we have to worry about is right now. We don't have to worry about the past or the future. We just worry about right now. Because if you worry about the now, it's going to take you into your future automatically. So the perceived future, we're really just living one now moment. And so we've got to take the pressure off of ourselves for one thing. We've got to make this fun, joyful, exciting, passionate. Nothing has to be inherently bad or negative unless we give that meaning to it. So I want you to think about, what am I giving meaning to, and what am I making things mean about myself? If somebody says something and I'm taking it personally, why am I doing that? I must have a belief about myself somewhere in there. And you got to look back and kind of think about, well, why would I feel this way? And where else have I felt this way in my past? Where else has someone said the same thing to me that they just said today? And someone said that to me in the past, and that old feeling is linked to that past event. And we're keeping, so technically in that sense, we're keeping the past in the present, and we haven't really let the past go. So again, when I was learning these things and practicing these things over the years, I really noticed that, wow, I am hurting myself with my thoughts. And I was like, I have been hurt enough and I don't want to hurt myself anymore. And so I just started looking at it like that. And then I think I've told you guys about my dream that I had in April, and it was a very vivid dream. And I woke up. It was a very scary dream, and I woke up, and I remember I always get up and go to my closet, and get my workout shoes on and everything. And I looked in the mirror, and I said, "Wow, I love myself." And and that was April 25th of this year, and I'll be 43 next month. So it was really this beautiful moment because I was going through a lot of things emotionally. This year has been, I would call, the year of transformation for me. And it has been nothing more than that. It has been the best year I've had ever as far as transformation is concerned, and one of the hardest years that I've had. But I want to label it one of the best years because I don't want to label it hard anymore. And that's what I want to tell you. It's like, watch how you label everything, including yourself, mostly yourself. You're everything. So you have to decide who am I going to be? Like, what am I going to label myself? If you label yourself, because everything is a label, like, oh, I have, even when I say, social anxiety, it's like, I don't want to even label myself as that anymore. I don't have social anxiety anymore. I'm perfectly comfortable in my skin. I'm fine. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I care about what I think about me. And the more you step into yourself and you're able to connect to you, you're going to find that you start to actually love yourself. And I don't just mean just loving yourself in general. I mean like the unconditional love. I don't think we talk about unconditional love enough. And unconditional love means there's no condition placed on the love. You just love yourself for who you are, and you love others for who they are, and you accept them for who they are. And that's a difficult place, I think, for humans to get to sometimes. But I think we can all do it with practice. So, and it's very powerful because you're creating your life from what state you're in, what mental state you're in. It is creating a frequency. And so, when you have a clear intention of what you're wanting, and you put that with this elevated emotion that feels so good, you put those together, the intention and an elevated emotion, you've got some pretty cool stuff coming to you. Those manifestations are going to start coming in pretty quickly. You're going to see them very fast. All manifestation is instant. We just are in a reality where we can't perceive it. There are infinite parallel realities going on around us. We just cannot see them. And you'll notice that when you shift your state, other people will shift their states magically because you've shifted into a different reality where there's different versions of all of you in this one place. And that's a whole other, I could do a whole series of videos on quantum physics and the observer effect and superposition and all of these terms. And I will someday. But for now, just really start thinking about, man, I wonder if there are actual other me's out there living this life that I want to live. And what do I need to do to get there? And all it is a small shift in your consciousness. So where I like to begin with all of this is to figure out, what am I thinking about? Think about what you're thinking about. Your focus and your attention are the most valuable assets that people will steal, including me. I'm stealing your attention right now and your focus, hopefully. That's my intention at least, because I want to inject these things into you to program you in the correct way versus the way that society has programmed us. And I don't want you to trust me. I want you to take my words and implement them and become your own evidence so you can trust yourself more, so you can trust in your abilities more. You'll never be a more perfect manifester than you are right now. You can't get any better. You've always been the best. You cannot get any better. There's no skills to learn. It's just getting out of your own way, because we're always in our own way. And we don't persist long enough to see a change. And I promise you, if you will persist, which means keep going, keep visioning, keep to what you've decided, and keep to what you know. And It's basically like, the movie Groundhog Day. It's a pretty older movie. Check it out if you've never seen it. If you're too young to even know what that is, go watch it. It's pretty funny. You're going to have Groundhog Day every day. Your day's not going to change much unless you change. You've got to shift internally. And so you've got to decide, and this is what I did. I decided, I was like, I'm going to have a great day every day. I'm going to look at every moment as, instead of dreading something, I'm going to say, thank you for this. And what's the goodness in this? What can I do today that's loving to myself? And the best thing you can do, I feel, for yourself is to look at everything as it's for your benefit, everything. Because the moment we notice something that is not our benefit and we look at it in a negative way, then where our state is going down, our frequency is going lower. And so whatever your frequency is frequencying at, you're going to attract that same frequency to you. And if you don't change that frequency on the daily, then the daily is going to bring you the daily crap. So you got to watch out for that, and you're in complete control of this at all times. You're playing The Sims, you're playing Grand Theft Auto. You get to decide if you break the laws or not in Grand Theft Auto. You get to decide these things. And people will act certain ways around you. As you shift, they will shift. And you just have to notice, okay, what is showing up in my life? If you look around at your life and you don't like it, tell yourself, I've created this. And that means I can create something different. We don't uncreate anything. We just create something different. We choose differently. And you can choose differently at any moment. You can choose whether or not you label yourself in a certain way, or label somebody else in a certain way, or label what's going on in your life a certain way. You get to decide how you label things. And I have decided to label everything as great, no matter what it is. And I say there is a benefit in everything. And I'm getting better and better every day. In fact, I'm at my best at every second that I'm awake, every second I'm living. And I just have fun looking around. I appreciate everything. I look around. I love fall. And so I've been just staring outside, just staring like, oh, I love the leaves falling. It's just so, but I've never done that as much as I have this year, because I'm appreciating everything around me, which makes me appreciate. Remember that what you appreciate appreciates. So you have to appreciate yourself like you would, you've got to invest in yourself with appreciation, just like you would invest money into an investment account, and it's going to appreciate. It's going to grow larger. It's going to gain in value. So as you appreciate yourself, you gain in value, which means you will gain in value in every way you can even possibly think of. So watch what you're thinking, watch where your attention is going. I think that's one of the biggest things, is to have control over your focus and your attention is probably the most valuable asset you can ever have. And you can train your mind to do that. Your brain is already trained to do what it's doing now. And here's something to remember too. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter what happened 1 minute ago or even 1 second ago. Every moment is a new now. So you get to decide, do I stay the same, or am I going to go all in on myself and change? And you'll see the results of both, whether you decided to stay the same or you decided to change. And you'll get to see what's on the other side of that. But it's the biggest secret, I think, to all of this is you're going to decide what you're wanting. And then you're going to decide, I'm already the person that has this. And it may take you a minute to get to that point. You've got to know in your bones that you have this thing, that you are this thing. Because as you shift into this identity of being powerful and actually knowing that you're capable of getting this thing, your thoughts and behaviors, assumptions, all these things will start to shift. And then the next step is actually believing that you already have it. And that is, that's helped by visualizing, that you can really train your brain and your body to actually believe that they're in a future state, even though you don't actually have that right now in the physical. It's already been created in the invisible, we'll call it. And so you've got the visible and the invisible. You've already created it in the invisible. If you have a desire and you're wanting it really bad, that means it exists somewhere, or you wouldn't even want it. You wouldn't even have a feeling or emotion about it. It just wouldn't even be a big deal. Wouldn't be a thing at all. But it exists. And so all you have to do is visualize this and feel it and go to sleep. Right before you go to sleep, visualize these things. Anytime you're in your car and you want a new car, or even if you're in the car that you love, pretend like you're the person that you want to be. How would, and my thing is I want to be a millionaire CEO of my company. And I'm like, gosh, I got to eliminate a lot of things. The main thing I've got to eliminate is distractions and bad thoughts about myself, my capabilities, and thinking that there's not enough time in the day and I'm overwhelmed and this and that. And so you have to watch out for what you're saying to yourself and what you're thinking. And instead of saying I'm overwhelmed, you could say, oh my gosh, I'm going to make this so fun. This is so fun. I get to be creative. This is so much fun. Oh my gosh, I feel so great. I'm actually going to start doing something and making some headway here and there. And because I'm a new me, I can focus and I can do anything I want. And you just change the way you're speaking to yourself. Those inner conversations you're having are preventing you from getting to where you want to be in your life. And you've got to decide, do I want to be self number one or self number two? Self number one thinks those self-deprecating thoughts that you're thinking and the terrible thoughts about the people around you, the things that they've done to you, the things that have happened to you in your life. You need to process those feelings. Yes, I'm always a fan of therapy. Obviously, I'm a therapist. I love therapy. But there's a point at which you have to decide, okay, I'm done healing now. It's time for me to decide I'm already healed and I'm going to move forward in this area so I can live my life the way I actually want to live it. And it's a decision to just become different. I had to do the same thing. I had to let go. I had to let go of old stories. They pop up sometimes still, but it's up to you to say, oh, there it is again. It just popped up. Okay, I gotta go this way now. That's part of persistence, is if you can let go of that old story, be conscious enough to see where your awareness is. Your awareness is on that old self again, which means you're in that old energy again, that old frequency that's just vibrating over here. And that's your old, it's like an old reality. And you're not there. You're in an old version of yourself. So if you are willing to let go, and I'm saying, are you willing to let go of that so you can feel better? You have to ask yourself, do I enjoy feeling down? Do I enjoy telling this story over and over? What am I benefiting from telling the story over and over to myself? What am I benefiting from holding on to this instead of letting it go? What is this giving me? Because there's a payoff to everything we do, and it's an addiction. We're addicted to the old thoughts. The old, any thought that you have, it produces a chemical reaction in your brain and in your body. So you'll notice you can get yourself really stressed out by thinking about stuff from the past. And you'll start huffing and puffing and getting angry, and you can feel that cortisol and the adrenaline going through your body. And you're just riled up, and your heart's pounding, you're dizzy, you're stressing. And we don't want to do that. You're turning on genes that are causing, disease from dis-ease, because dis-ease in the mind creates disease in the body. The body follows the mind. It's all connected. And so you have to be willing to let go of you. You've got to get over yourself, get past yourself, so you can create the new you. And it just takes focus. It takes noticing, where is my focus going? Where is my attention going? Instead of where it needs to go, which is on my future. What do I want for myself? How do I want to feel during my day? We only want something because we think we're going to feel a certain way when we have it. So if you're in a job you hate and you want to go to another job, well, how do you want to feel in your new job? Because you're going to take yourself and all this baggage you're holding that doesn't even belong to you in the first place. You're going to take that with you into that new job. And you're going to find that it's a different place with different faces, but it's going to be the same energy and the same you there. So you got to make peace with where you are right now and accept it. Say, okay, this is where I'm at in this present moment. Where do I want to go? What's my vision? And then you stick to that vision. You stay glued to that vision like nothing else. And every time you notice that you're going back to that old story, you just say, nope, I am this now. I'm going this way now. instead of going left, I'm going to go right this time. I'm going to deliberately choose, deliberately focus my attention over here so that I can deliberately create my own life instead of it being created by default. That's what we're doing. We're consciously and deliberately, on purpose, thinking a certain way so that it's going to get us to a certain point and exactly where we want to go. And then you just persist in the knowing that I've created this over here. I do not need to go over here anymore because this is no man's land. This is where all the crazy happens, and I don't need to go over there anymore. And you're going to find that people will tell you, oh, why are you not thinking about that anymore? What, you've got to tune out everybody else. And this is the biggest lesson I think we have is we've got to tune everybody else out and tune into ourselves. We've never been more disconnected from ourselves than ever before than right now. And you've got to connect within yourself to your heart. What do you want? How do you want to feel on a daily basis? You get to decide how you feel on a daily basis. You get to design your life any way you want to. You can change anything. Things can change literally instantly. I've had things change overnight. I've had things change within 5 minutes. I've had things change within a few days. Time is an illusion. Time does not exist. Everything happens instantly. It's just, because it's almost like you're creating energy by thinking something. You know how when you get really jazzed up and you're like super excited about something, and then like you go to bed and then like you wake up and then you're not as excited about it anymore? It's like almost like you disconnected from that energy. You just got to connect to that energy again and get excited. And you've got to hold that feeling for as long as you can. That's the goal. As Esther Hicks says, you want to milk it. Just milk it. Pretend like you're milking a cow. Just milk it and stay there. Hold the frequency. You got to hold that frequency because it's very easy to go back to that old frequency. You don't want to hold the old frequency. You want to hold the new frequency. And this takes practice. This is, I would say, probably the number one most important skill to learn is this right here. Holding on to a state, creating it, and then holding it. No matter what's going on around you, noticing, processing feelings if they come up, talking about it, but then saying, nope, I'm going to go over here now. I have this vision. I don't have to go back there and spiral and just over and over be on the hamster wheel thinking about it and talking about it all the time. So I want you to think about what thoughts are you thinking that are hurting yourself and keeping you from being your new self, because you're worth everything. You are everything, and you can have everything and be everything and do anything you want. You just have to listen to my words and go practice this. Don't just listen and binge everybody's videos out there. Take the words, implement them. Get off of YouTube, get off of apps, get off of all these things, get off your phone. Let's put it that way. Get off your phone and get your nose in a book, or get your nose in your own business, or get your nose out in nature, or get your nose with your kids. Be present. Just be present in the moment. Enjoy. And then you'll find that the love for yourself starts to cultivate. It just starts to show up. You don't have to do any work for it. It just starts to happen. And then watch what happens around you. But notice everything and appreciate everything, especially appreciate yourself. And you'll notice some big changes that happen, I promise. So yeah, I'll leave you with that today. If you're new here, welcome. If you're old here, welcome. Thank you for watching. And if this helped you in any way, please share it with somebody who might benefit from the information. And please like and subscribe if you'd like to. And I will be back tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and enjoy the rest of your day or evening. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.